You know what? I'm sick and tired of having dull, grainy, laggy, frame rate dropping footage to show in my reviews. So it's time I went with something newer that actually looks kind of pretty. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I haven't done the Xbox 360 in a while, so it's due up for another review. This time we got Ghost Recon Future Soldier for the Xbox 360. While this is the first time I'm recording on my Xbox One, this is also the first time I'm reviewing a second game in a series, with the original Ghost Recon appearing on my channel a little more than a year ago. Unlike a lot of the games I review on this channel, I didn't have this growing up as a kid, or at least I didn't have it at some point before I started the channel, so this should be the first time I'm playing it and this is my first impression. And what an impression it's been. I'm not really a third-person shooter kind of guy, but this game's legit fun. While it came out in the peak of modern/futuristic shooters, it still feels pretty fresh. One of the most refreshing parts about it is the weapon customization. I mean, good lord, you can really go all out here. Most of the changes are relatively small, but combined, you can really tailor the weapon to fit your need or your playstyle. You can even change the pressure of the gas in the weapon to increase or decrease your rate of fire. That's some truly realistic stuff that really sets this game apart from other shooters. I know Call of Duty now has the gunsmith, but this seems a lot more in depth than that even is. However, not all the stuff in this game is realistic, but even the fictional stuff is pretty cool too. Like the whole body camouflage, it's just so cool to sneak around without having anyone see you. In my opinion, it's a great balance of realism and fictional technology that doesn't really break my suspension of disbelief. And this game actually has stealth mechanics that make it imperative to be silent, and that's where the original Ghost Recon really fell short, as I outlined in that review. You didn't even have to be silent, you could just go all out and just start blasting people. Also, what the original Ghost Recon lacked was decent graphics that actually let you play the game, and this is certainly an upgrade in the graphical department. It's not even that the graphics are obviously better and more advanced on the Xbox 360, but the lighting just makes everything so much more easier to see. I almost never make a fuss about graphics because I don't feel like it's a majorly integral part of any game, but the original game, it was just so hard to see people, and that's what held it back so much. Instead of leading two teams of 3 soldiers like the original, this one only has a total of 4 and they're all in one team, and you can't switch between any of the other guys like you could before, but you can still give commands and work as a team, which the teamwork aspect is much more improved. The original, you kind of just had 2 lone groups of soldiers working independently, where here, even though you're only one player, you need to work with the computer teammates to get things done. This game also supported online co-op campaign, which would have been absolutely phenomenal to play with other people, but alas, I'm stuck in the past, and I never got to experience it. This even has a side mode where you defend an HQ and enemies come in waves and you have to protect the area for an extended period of time. It's not as groundbreaking as some other games' secondary modes, but it offers enough variety to break up the monotony of playing the campaign. There's also a switch cover mechanic where your soldier runs from one piece of cover to another, and it really feels like you're running for your life with the camera shake and all. As with most games I review, there's some problems I see with it, and the first that comes to mind is even though there's so much cool stuff to do and to keep me occupied, it still kind of feels a little bland in some areas. It just feels generic due to the sheer number of military shooters that are available nowadays. I mean, I really like Call of Duty, I'm a Call of Duty fanboy, but I think it's very much to blame for the blandness that comes in military shooters. I understand that games don't need to have a compelling story, but I'm just so tired of playing modern shooters set in the Middle East or World War II shooters. There's just very little in between those two settings that really stand out. Also, some of the futuristic aesthetics can get in the way of the heads-up display. I mean, there's so much stuff going on I don't know what I should or shouldn't be paying attention to. It just seems like sensory overload. This is certainly an upgrade over the original Ghost Recon, in more ways than one, and I'm happy this series could produce something a little bit more polished than the one I grew up with. I personally prefer first-person shooters over third-person shooters, so I didn't spend as much time with this as I wanted to, but if you enjoy third-person shooters, this is definitely something you can enjoy. I feel really bad saying this game's in the middle of my rankings, but I really just don't get around to play that many bad games. I mean, only 1 or 2 of these games I'd say are legitimately bad, but I've enjoyed reviewing every game I've played so far. Alright, that's all she wrote. Or more like, that's all I wrote. Alright, whatever. That's review 26. Hope you enjoyed, Review 27 coming soon. Thanks for watching.